Ark-La-Miss News Update.
Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to NBC News Daily. I'm Randy Stone with your midday Ark-La-Miss update. In a traffic alert this morning, impaired and distracted driving continues to plague our roadways. NBC 10's Sydney Lane has this story.
Impaired and distracted driving is still a big issue when it comes to roadways. Captain C.J. Beck with the West Monroe Police spoke on this and what they are doing to help combat this issue.
Still is a problem for us is impaired driving, distracted driving, and impaired driving includes prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, alcohol-related crashes and fatalities, and also illicit drugs. So our distracted driving problem is cell phones, eating while driving, putting makeup on while driving, just not paying attention to the roadway.
West Monroe Police wants to limit the number of impaired and distracted drivers on the roadway and are working on ways to do that.
A number of things that we're doing. First of all, we have a grant through the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, and we get that grant every year, and it's about to start up again October 1st. Our last grant ends September 30th, so we're going to roll right into the next grant year. They give us around $140,000 for overtime funding to increase our patrols, so off-duty officers can come out and work during that time. What that does is it allows patrol officers to continue focus on their job duties while they have time to enforce traffic, but they have dedicated units out there enforcing impaired driving and distracted driving laws.
West Monroe Police are doing what they can to keep you safe while driving. Reporting in West Monroe for your weather station, I'm Sydney Lane.
The search continues for a suspect accused of stabbing and killing his co-worker back in April of this year. Here's NBC 10's Chelsea Monet with this week's Ark-La-Miss Most Wanted.
After a certain amount of time of good behavior, some inmates have the privilege to work in the real world while still serving time. They're the most trusted of inmates among the facility. This week, we're revisiting a work release escapee who worked at Foster Farms in Farmerville and thought he could take a shortcut back to real life. 48-year-old Bruce Causey of Baton Rouge is still on the run. On Thursday, April 12, 2022, first responders were dispatched to Foster Farms, a chicken processing plant in Farmerville, Louisiana, in reference to a stabbing. The victim was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries and later died. Authorities confirmed that the last place Causey was seen was in Monroe around 11 a.m. that Thursday morning. However, investigators believe he may have fled to South Louisiana. He was set to be released from prison September 9th of this year. Have you seen Bruce Causey? He is described as a black male, 5'9" and 235 pounds. If you believe you have seen Causey, contact the number on your screen. Authorities tell me that the search for Causey is still very active, and they have been in contact with family and friends in Baton Rouge. For Ark-La-Miss Most Wanted on your weather station, I'm Chelsea Monet.
Exclusive Storm Tracker Doppler weather from the most experienced meteorologist in the Ark-La-Miss, Jared Floyd.
Get a little bit of a break from the heat tomorrow, but today we approach record highs in many spots, upper 90s to near 100 degrees. We do have a weak cold front that'll mosey its way through the area through the course of the afternoon. You'll probably feel the winds out of the north, and they could pick up a little bit through the course of the day. Lows tonight back into the mid to upper 60s. Again, behind the front, some drier air punches in, so that makes for a more comfortable night across the area. Winds generally becoming calm. If we catch a breeze, it'll likely be out of the northeast. I'll look at the 7-day forecast, and again, there are some changes in store as a cold front advances through the area Sunday. So we have two, one that passes through today and then another one on Sunday. That one a little bit stronger that knocks highs into the 80s first part of next week. Of course, late next week, the Gulf Coast states will be keeping an eye on potential tropical development. We've been kind of keeping an eye on that for the last few days, although there's not really a whole lot of details we can deliver at this point on how strong it would be and where it's going. Still a long way between now and then. In the short term, heat safety will remain important, even with a little bit of a dip temperature-wise on Friday. The only rain chances over the next week are on Sunday with that front bringing a thin band of showers and storms potentially into the area. But again, the pleasant conditions are really what's waiting for us once we get through the heat and humidity over the next few days. Heat safety remains important. Stay hydrated, light-colored, loose-fitting clothing. Morning lows stay muggy in the upper 60s to low 70s.
Well, that is it for your midday Ark-La-Miss update. NBC News Daily continues now. God bless.